I just felt sad. As much as he's not bothered now what's happening to those ashes, they're still on my mum's wardrobe in a box. I think for me, I want to honour him with something, doing something. He's not neglected, he's part of the family still. I'm constantly remembering that smile and the person that he was and the legacy that he left behind. So many people's lives he's impacted. So he died in 2018. At that point, the last 6 months or more of his life, he was a different person because he had vascular dementia, especially for my mum, but we definitely lost him twice because his behaviour changed. And my mum, like the wife, became a carer and she was grieving the man she had beside her. So when she physically lost him, she'd already cried buckets. He just lived a simple life in the sense that he didn't really mind or want for much. With 3 women in the house growing up, my mum was very vocal and very chatty. But Dad, he was never shy. He would always be able to talk to people and he would preach. He was like a lay preacher, but he would never really offer information. You had to really dig down and actually talk to him to really find out who he was. But I guess that if I was to think of him in like one word, it would be so caring, so generous with his time. I always picture him smiling. That is who he was. I always knew I wanted to go back to do an art degree. And I then started the art degree in 2021. Because of the degree and the kind of sculptures that I started to make, I realised I could pretty much put anything in this Jesmonite. Someone in the course, another wonderful lady, she was putting ashes in her artwork of her sister that she lost suddenly. Something resonated in me. I had this idea to put his ashes, just for me, for my family, in some Jesmonite sculptures that I would make. It's priceless if you're in the right place at the right time. And these ladies' lunch network events I've been attending, they have been invaluable to me in my art practice. At one of these ladies' lunches, I met a lady called Dawn Ford. Anyway, she was explaining to me that she is a grief and loss specialist.
Tracy was sat opposite me and she was talking about this art project she wanted to do, that it was to do with her dear dad and his ashes and the grief journey that she was on. Yeah, my ears definitely picked up because I thought, wow, that sounds so me. I would love to be involved with that. And I was telling Tracy about the work that I do, which is a loss and wellbeing specialist, and I help people with grief.
And it hadn't really dawned on me the impact of what I was planning on doing. To come to do it in that physical bag of ashes who was this person that you've loved your whole life, it's another thing entirely. And I knew actually that I needed her involved in this project.
When you're an artist, and you know, for me I draw and stitch as well, but it's that tactile, physical thing that takes you to a place emotionally. And I have made things for people when they've been dying out of their parents' clothes and they've been buried with them. So the connection with Tracy when she was talking about ashes and the physicality of something, I thought I really want to work with this young lady.
I thought actually maybe there are other people who for no money at all would like to do what I'm doing. So that became part of the project as well. And so I spoke to Dawn about how we make it happen, what could it look like? Because of the timing and the funding the project needs to be done, I decided, right, well, let's get as many of them in on one day. Let's try and do it in one day. Would that work? How would that work? The people just really enjoyed playing around with Jesmonite at first. We just experimented. And then as the day wore on, they started to put their ashes in the sculptures they wanted to do. Throughout that day, what was fantastic was that each one had about 45 minutes one-to-one time with Dawn to really talk about this person that they loved and lost.
They start to go down this road of remembrance, and they started to cry. Each one, I think nearly everyone cried, which goes with my job, which is fine, because crying means you love and you miss. For 45 minutes, it was incredibly bonding, and I felt extremely privileged, extremely privileged.
I just feel so touched and honoured that something that was started as a simple idea became so meaningful for other people. They said that part of the best thing that day was that they were together as a group, that connection with each other, that they were there for the same reason.
And when I would finish, I would go into the studio and I would see Tracy with the group, and you just felt the buzz. There was a sense of remembrance, but there was a sense of rejoicing and celebrating, and there was laughter, and there was, it was artistic and creative. I don't think I'll ever forget it, if I'm honest.
But remembering them, reminiscing, having these fun moments that we shared together as a group, and it was beautiful. If this is something that I continue to do, these sessions where people come together would be so significant in people's lives. When I think of him not being here now, I don't think I really see him as gone. And I think maybe that's the faith element, believing that he's in heaven, that I will see him again.